morning game. Wow, this is so wild and exciting. Chargers, 12-4 overall, 7-1 on the road. You could say that they're 12-4 on the road. I'm very interested in the Chargers, and I know you guys, you're spectacular cappers, and you have the skill and smarts to take me off of a bet. But right now, I find the Chargers team total over extremely appealing here. 19.5 at Bet365, and I know I could shop around to get a better number than that. I find it extremely appealing. Ravens, 10-6, 6-2 at home. Open Ravens -2.5. Some money coming in on the Ravens. Now a mix of -2.5s and 3s. Total opened at 41.5. Most books have stayed there. A few are hanging 42s. The weather in Baltimore on Sunday is sunny, a high of 51 Fahrenheit, a low of 32 Fahrenheit, and 13 mile per hour winds. Chargers, to me, may be the most complete, balanced team in the NFL. This game is not too big for Rivers. I expect Rivers to have a very good game here. I expect them to ball up. The Ravens have a rookie quarterback that got hot and may not be ready, may not be big enough for this game. Derwin James is very, very good in run support. If we weren't watching Darius Leonard break the tackles record, we would be talking about Derwin James as the Defensive Rookie of the Year. He will have his eyes on Lamar all over the field. Bosa and Ingram are incredible. Ravens will try to grind this game into a halt. Jackson can't throw. When was the last time you saw a quarterback who can't throw have a big game in the playoffs? When? Tim Tebow? Let's start with you, Donnie, right side. Chargers at Ravens.
Great game. This is one of the most intriguing matchups that you can have because it's just everything that you believe an NFL quarterback or an NFL team should be running on offense in this day and age. Baltimore's taking it back to the 1940s, and it's absolutely working. And I'm dumbfounded. I can't understand it. I watched this same football team go out and play the Chargers 2.5 weeks ago in a situation where I thought they would just get buried in and the Steelers would take over and win the division. Short work week, traveling 3,000 miles away, and absolutely kicked the shit out of the Chargers. I mean, from opening snap interception through to the final gun, they beat the shit out of this Chargers team. It wasn't even close. Forget about what the score was, 22-10, whatever the final was. It could have been 42-10. It was almost like Baltimore toyed with them and said, you know we're running, you can't stop it, and we're going to laugh all the way to the bank. And, oh, yeah, your high-flying offense, we're just going to laugh at it the entire game, and that's what they did. I've been so wrong on this Baltimore Ravens team down the stretch. It almost doesn't matter who they play or how high-flying the offense is. They just stay in the game with you repeatedly and tell you they're sharper. And this game is going to be a close game. Phillip Rivers is a good quarterback. They have a great offense. Baltimore is just running on magic on offense right now, and it's working. But you know where this game comes down to? Depending on where you're shopping at, 2.5, 3 with plus juice. You know what I'm leaning on in this environment here in the playoffs? I got one field goal kicker on one side that will plant it from 55 plus every single time, up and good. And I'm going to put my money on the Chargers and Michael Badgley on the road in the playoffs. That kid's missing extra points Sunday. That kid's missing 37-yarders. Michael Badgley versus Tucker. That's where this game will be decided by a field goal. I believe the Baltimore Ravens going to get this one done.
Woo. That was a very good breakdown, Donnie. Whale capper, my man. Chargers, Ravens. What do you got?
So I'm with you on the Chargers team total over. That's a nice look. I like the full game over. As good as some of the individual stars are on the Chargers defense, I don't find them as a unit capable of really shutting down this team that has a really novel and dynamic way that they're approaching offense. But it does come down to rookie quarterback here for me, and versus a quarterback who's made deep runs in the playoffs and a team overall that has kind of proven themselves out to be road warriors in the Chargers. You asked when was the last time a quarterback that couldn't throw did well in the playoff game? Let's not forget Blake Bortles won 2 playoff games last year. But that's neither of them with
Buffalo
with
game
last
year.
Yeah. And I've definitely. It was 10. I think it was 10-3 or Yeah, it was. It was 10. Oh, yeah.
I
That
want to
was
say
really,
10 to
that was
3.
something.
Yeah, 10 because I
I
lost
think
it.
it
I
was,
think
yeah,
the point
because
spread was like 8
it
or
was,
something
I
like
think
that.
the
Yeah.
line was like
Yep.
right around, yeah, it was right around a 7.
Right
And it
around
just
seven
blew
and
it.
a
Yeah.
half. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway, the Chargers here to me being, they've kind of established their identity here as road warriors, which makes sense. They play on the road 16 games a year. And I almost feel like there's a little, and I'm completely spinning a narrative here. Like this is not something that I have like inside knowledge of whatsoever. But to a degree, it feels like they play well on the road because they are angry that they don't have home field, right? They're like, they go out there and they're like, well, if we don't get the benefits of a nice home field advantage, then you shouldn't either. We're going to spoil your home field advantage. And they play with the chip on their shoulder when they're on the road for whatever reason. It's resulted in a 7-1 record, some really impressive wins too, not just beating up on cupcakes on the road, I got to say. But all this said, Philip Rivers has a full complement of weapons that is unlike any other team that we see across the entirety of the NFL right now. They have a set of weapons that is better than the Saints, is better than the Rams, is better than the Chiefs. If he can limit his mistakes, particularly early in this game, don't throw that opening drive pick today, Philip Rivers. Don't do it, man. Like if he can just keep it together through the first quarter, then he is going to put points on the board. He is going to put pressure on Baltimore. Baltimore is going to, Lamar Jackson, as great as he's been, he has not ever been in a situation of this magnitude or even close. He is, rookie quarterbacks in the playoffs, historically, don't even look at the numbers. They're horrific. And he's not only is he a rookie, but he's a rookie without a full playbook, without a full complement of regular season games. So he is really going to be it's asking a lot of him to go up against a team that's as talented as the Chargers and beat them in a game that I feel like should have been line to pick. And the adjustment that we've seen here between what the closing line was in the Week 16 game, which I agree, Donnie, that was a Baltimore Ravens no doubter. They won that game rightfully. That was absolutely the right side to be on. But as much as it could have been 42-10, it could have been 17-16. They had the ball late, down 16-10 and driving, and it was a fluky fumble scoop and score that flipped that one and gave the win to the Ravens. And I will tell you that line, what was that? Chargers -6, almost might even close -7. The idea that the space between those teams 2 weeks ago, with Keenan Allen who was a little limited, Mike Williams was still kind of coming into his own and developing chemistry with Philip Rivers. Melvin Gordon, I know he's not fully healthy now, but he wasn't fully healthy then either. We may see a Hunter Henry appearance. There's a dynamic set of weapons now for the Chargers, and the idea that the adjustment between 6 on the road for Baltimore now to getting to laying 3 at home is just, there are free points here with the Chargers, and I'm going to back them on the money line. I'm going to back the full game over. I like the Chargers team total overlook too, because, for whatever reason, Baltimore, and Lamar Jackson might just have a stinker kind of a performance. But this is a game I feel like that sets up really well for the road dog, and probably the only road dog I'm going to be backing this weekend.
Wow. Only road dog. So interesting. I've been so excited all week to hear what you guys had to say about these 4 games, and you're living up to it, Donnie right side. Chargers, Ravens, final thoughts.
I can't wait for this one. I mean, I really can't. And look, we're on the East Coast here. It's January. It's supposed to be cold. It's supposed to be really windy. You're going to get 50-degree weather for this football game on Sunday, and winds probably 10 miles an hour or less. So, I mean, I know this, when you look at the Baltimore Ravens, it's not supposed to be an over-type team, just the way they approach it, play really good physical defense, run the football on offense. But if there's ever going to be scoring in the playoffs, and you're going to get a total of 41 with Philip Rivers, who is probably going to throw, 40 times at least in this football game. So he might counterbalance a little bit of that Ravens team. I don't like to take, as we always say, unders under 41. But I could see, so honestly, if after that 22-10 game we saw a couple weeks ago, you're going to get some good weather here. They know each other, maybe open it up a little bit more. 41 might not be too bad to maybe take a flyer on the over. Again, you're talking about 24-21 gets an easy cover here.
Do you like that full game over more than a Chargers team total over? Because I find that a very appealing spot. Probably my favorite spot. I just find it a very appealing.
Also, I would like all the. I actually would like the over. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to run away with this game. I would be hard pressed to say, oh my God, the Chargers come in and blow them up 27-10 or vice versa in this game. I think it's going to be pretty close all the way through. So if you're going to look on the over on the game, I like team total over on both teams in this game. I just think it's going to be punch for punch in this one. I don't think it's going to be 7-3 at the half, and I think weather will dictate that.
This is great, incredible stuff too coming in from our chat. People on different sides breaking this down. Wow, so cool. Whale Capper, any final thoughts? Chargers, Ravens.
I do. I have a question for you guys. We don't often talk teasers on this show because, by and large, overall, it's a sucker bet. But there are key numbers that matter a ton when it comes to teasing. And we see 3 dogs on the road this week that look real nice to throw into kind of a little round robin teasing season with the Colts, the Seahawks, and the Chargers. I'm curious if you had to throw one of those 3 out and just do a 2-team tease, 6 point, 6.5 point, 2-team tease, get them out past 7. Who are you looking at throwing out of that group of 3?
Donnie, you want to hammer that first?
Who are looking to take or not use? You saying with the teaser?
Yeah, if I only wanted to do a 2-team teaser for is one of those a stinker between the Colts, Seahawks, and the Chargers to put in a teaser?
To me,
who blows it? Basically, who blows it? Yeah,
to me, now after working with you guys, for 49 minutes, even though we weren't together on the Seahawks spot, I'm the most concerned about the Colts. I think that the Texans at home at this price do give you a lot of value. I do think the Colts could come back. I guess who could be okay. I'm a little concerned.
I think you're
Colts
right on that. I think what you're trying to say,
bet.
like that's the coin flip of the game. That game out of all 4 games, I think is the one that you could say, man, Colts really came in 35-17, or boy, Houston was so good at home, 28-6. I think that's where you're going with that, and I agree with you, Jimmy.
And the only hesitation I have with that answer is after Whale Capper's breakdown of the Seahawks Cowboys game. That's my only hesitation. Hearing Whale Capper's, thinking that a 24-3 spot isn't out of the question. That's my hesitation.
I would love that.
That's my only hesitation. Who would you pull out of that 3-gamer, Whale Capper?
I think the Colts too. I agree that it's the toughest handicap. It's the one that presents the widest range of possibilities. And the Seahawks Chargers, because both numbers you can get it out get out to 8 with a little less juicy teaser. I think Seahawks Chargers is a nice little road dog, little road dog 2-teamer there to put in your back pocket, bankroll builder.
Yeah, I think you're right. Teasers are something I don't do either.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.